Hey, Rich. We're heading to Brooklyn on the SYM Symba 100cc mini motorcycle or scooter. I was going to take out the Royal Enfield. There's the garage right up there. I was going to take out the Enfield, but there's 3 bikes disassembled on the floor of the garage, and getting to mine would require me to make somebody move their work, which would really not be polite. And I've got this perfectly good Honda Cub clone, so I'm going to take that out instead. I'm bent over a little more than I used to be because, as you saw in the little intro clip there, there's a plastic milk crate attached to the rack in the back, zip tied on, and I moved it forward to give myself a little bit of a backrest. I think I might have moved it 2 inches too far, so I may take it off and put it back. But it is nice to be able to have something to lean against, and it's perfectly secure, so it's a little more comfortable that way. We're going to go through we're going to take the toll crossings. We're going to go through the Hugh Carey Tunnel into to Hamilton Avenue, then across the Prospect Expressway, and then probably come up 4th Avenue in Brooklyn to the Barclays Center area. This is just a pleasure ride on a nice evening after very heavy rain earlier this afternoon. You can see it's still wet, but the rain stopped, so we're all set. I had the bike over in Brooklyn already once today, getting the safety inspection that is required by law here after you transfer a vehicle. My sticker was, already current, but they want the bike re-inspected every time it changes hands, and that's probably a good idea. The fellow who inspected me at Motor Girl in Williamsburg on Metropolitan Avenue, Anthony, was very helpful, or Tony was very helpful. He showed me, what they test, and we walked through it all. We looked at the brakes, the remaining shoe thickness, pad thickness. There's some nice clouds across there on the Brooklyn side. And in addition to the brakes, we looked at the tires, and he showed me the cracks in the sidewall, and I agreed to order new tires for this because, I'm guessing that these tires have never been changed in the 4 years and 7,000 miles that the scooter has done. And I know that the bike sat for a long time too, which is bad for tires, and inclined to put strain on them that isn't natural. So we're going to get new tires. Tires are cheap. Tire installation is cheap, and I like the shop. So I'm happy to give them a little business. Again, that's Motor Girl on Metropolitan Avenue in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. So I'm going to see if this move I'm about to do is even possible anymore. It's always been illegal, but you can see they just put up this concrete Jersey barrier that didn't used to be here, and they've put up barrels too. You can't do it anymore. That's effing ridiculous. I know it's for that's where I wanted to go, down there. I know it's for my safety, but it ticks me off. So we'll take the scenic route here past the Governor's Island Ferry Terminal and Staten Island Ferry Terminal here. Here's the side of it. And we'll just cut around to West Street and to the Hugh Carey Tunnel there. This is the very tip of Manhattan. I don't think I've ever put this part of Manhattan on video. There's the Staten Island Ferry Terminal. And straight ahead. Bike rental station, nice thing to have. And Battery Park there, which is undergoing a major renovation. I'm gonna have to put another. I'm gonna have to put new zip ties on this backrest. It's crowding me just a little closer than I want to be crowded. So anyway, I took the bike in for inspection. The fellow, I think, would have passed me if I'd insisted, but I wanted to get the tires done anyway, so we're gonna put new tires on and then have it re-inspected. It passed everything else other than that. And then I went and had spare keys made for this bike at Billy's Locksmith in Greenpoint, which I was told has the blanks for every kind of vehicle and lock there is, and they had mine, so that was good. And what else? I gave this bike a nice wash down with soapy water and a little bit of bleach because some of the fairing on the front, the plastic fairing, had been left out in the sun and had soil baked into it over a period of years, had been discolored, and I wanted to see, normal soap and water didn't get it out. I wanted to see what a little bleach would do, and in fact, the bleach did help. So it's in spiffier shape than it was before. There's the World Trade Center tower, the new Freedom Tower. Here we go into the tunnel. We're doing 50 miles an hour, no trouble. Go. So we're out on the Brooklyn side. I'm actually gonna take the exit and gas up because I'm down to the bottom of the fuel range, and there's a gas station right up here. All right, we're fueled up. And I'm happy to report that on this tank, I got over 93 miles to the gallon, which is really great performance, even for a zippy little bike like this. So we're gonna follow along the highway here. I don't think there's an entrance. I think we'll just run under it until we get to the area where we're going to cut up north into Park Slope. This is not the sexiest part of Brooklyn, but you know, anyone who does any crossing from Manhattan to Brooklyn ends up over here at some point or other. Canal. Sure, all right, we'll go across this way. God, 93 miles to the gallon. It's really amazing. Because, you know, after all, it's a 100cc bike that is perfectly capable of moderate highway speeds. Cutting over to Fifth Avenue because it's a little prettier ride than Fourth. It's more neighborhoody. One thing we do in New York is we stop at red lights. We don't mess around. We don't run them. Both because red lights are enforced here in New York City, and because you never know when some human being might walk into the street the moment their light turns green, or even before. And so there's a very strongly enforced and strongly held cultural norm here that red lights are important. That's true in Manhattan and in the denser parts of Brooklyn. It's incrementally less true in the other boroughs, but I think still, on the whole, is a respected community norm, and I like those things. They're what make it possible to trust people, even though they're strangers, because they're sharing the experience with you of being New Yorkers. So this is a very thickly settled part of Park Slope. I've been into most of these restaurants and cafes. This one, Moutard, I like. Oh, it's closed for renovation, apparently. I wonder if they went out of business. We're heading up into the northern part of Park Slope. You notice that I've been downshifting and engine braking on the Symba just like I would on a full-size motorcycle. And once you sort of get your legs with regard to this bike, it's just like any other bike. And you can upshift and downshift and engine brake and so forth just like you can on a 500 or 1000cc bike. Even though this is just a zippy little 101cc. So nice that spring is here and all the leaves are out. Alright, so here we are at Gorilla Coffee. Stop in for a little rest stop. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Hey, so here we are again. I had my coffee break, and we're going to head back to Manhattan via either the Manhattan Bridge or the Brooklyn Bridge, depending on what's open. There have been a lot of small infrastructure improvements here in North Park Slope as part of the Barclays Center Arena project. I can see there's a new street signs on the corner there in the new New York City design with upper-lower casing and the clear view typeface. I assume that's the new standard coming in across the city. This has, oh look, there's a big bike share station going in right there. This has always been one of the most congested intersections in Brooklyn because it's like a 11-way vehicle intersection with a huge train station underneath. For some reason it's open today, flowing right through. In a car, I hate being on Flatbush Avenue. It's so congested. But it feels a little less horrible on a bike. And it looks like we're probably going to end up on the Manhattan Bridge because the Brooklyn Bridge will be a left turn from here, and I'm not sure what left turn I could make between here and the bridge, and I don't want to go around the block. I guess I could have swung around that way and going to cross that way to J Street. That's my route to the Brooklyn Bridge for next time. So here's the Manhattan Bridge. This is Tillery Street we're crossing. And I like the upper roadway because it's less congested on the other end, you'll see. So we're accelerating up toward 40 miles an hour in third gear, and now in fourth gear, holding at 40 and slowly accelerating toward 45 up this slope. That's perfectly fine. Here we are, 45. To fasten this bolt, tighten this bolt, I need a probably 10 millimeter wrench, which I have at the garage, but I can't get to my tools today because of all the people with their bikes disassembled all over the floor. It's Saturday. It's a busy spring bike work day in there, so I'll go do it tomorrow. So here we are. We're coming off at Canal Street on the Manhattan side, and from this lane we can loop around to the right, go down the side of the bridge, and avoid most of the congestion, you'll see. There's the bike lane coming off the bridge. And we just zip down the side here. This is where the Chinatown shuttles pick up. I think it's the Flushing shuttle. You come right down in the middle of Chinatown. No preamble, you're just here. This is East Broadway. I guess I'll go down this way. Normally I would go down there if I were going home, but we're going to cut across and I'm going to go to the post office on the way home. Surprisingly good dim sum in there. That unlikely commercial building under the Manhattan Bridge. So we just do this little dog leg through Chatham Square and then cut across Worth Street to the west side for the post office. No, that's for us. This area where we are right now was the notorious 5-point slum in the, I guess, 1920s and 30s. And was all cleared. And here is the Louis Lefkowitz State Office Building on the right. This right here is where the city clerk is, and this is where marriage licenses are issued. And so when marriage equality came to New York State, this is where all of the cheering happened on the first day for the gay and lesbian couples who first got married on the first day, and they were taking their pictures there in the, you know, and where the sign is that says wedding garden. It was a festive scene with a few ill-mannered demonstrators on that side. If you watch Law and Order, you've seen this scenery a zillion times. That building over there is where is one of the courthouses where they film on the steps all the time. In fact, I just saw someone take a picture. I bet it was because of Law and Order. Go down Broadway and then back. Heading down to Lower Broadway. That was rude. It's not like you can't see me. City Hall Park here on the left. There's City Hall. That one there. We're going to go all the way up to Fulton Street so that I can loop around and park right in front of the post office. I'm working the shifter just like I would on a sport bike. And the brakes too. I mean, the motorcycle snobs say that this thing doesn't have very strong brakes, but that has not been my experience. It's been perfectly adequate. So here's Fulton Street, and there's the World Trade Center tower. And there's the post office. Keep moving. Here. All right, back in a minute. All right, got the mail. And we're going to head home. So, just a few more minutes of riding, but I might as well run the camera. Let's kick the bike alive. First kick, and it's running. I've never had a motorbike with a Kickstarter before. It's kind of fun to realize that it's your physical energy that is putting the engine in motion. And like I said, the throttle is a little slow to warm up. Not quite bulky, but you can't, you don't get full power on the first twist. You have to sort of jiggle it alive. Thank you. That's me starting up in second gear, which on this bike you can do as long as you're moving 2 miles an hour or faster. You can probably do it from 0. That's a Pace University student probably moving out. A lot of parents are here today picking up kids and rolling carts full of personal effects from the dorms. That's first gear. You got a lot more pull in first. So I'll stash the bike in the alley tonight, Saturday night.